and the Bible's clear as well in James 1 verse 21 that we're to humble ourselves unto the implanted word of God.
Because he has changed so much from when I first met him, and he continues to change, and that is a really beautiful thing, to see him settle into who he really is. You know, of course he is always himself, but I think the true man inside is emerging, and do you know what? I just fall more and more in love with him as the years go by, and I think it has brought a lot of healing to him to be in a family home. You know, he comes home to me, and I am like an anchor. I am like I am that steady thing in his life, that constant, where he's had a life of chaos. You know, now he's living a more peaceful life, and we sit down, we have dinner together, we do things as a family. You know, I think that has brought a lot of healing to his life, and you know, it's just amazing to be a part of that. One of the things that I remembered a couple of years ago, I think John and I were already married. I remembered I went out into the garden. I was probably about 13, at home with my parents. I went out into the garden, and I don't know, I just had this feeling to pray for the man I was going to marry, and I just knew in my heart that there was something wrong, that he was in trouble, he was in some kind of trouble. I didn't understand really, I just knew in my heart. I just had this feeling, and I began to pray for him, whatever he was going through, that God would protect him, that he would lead him out of that situation. And when I spoke to John about it, we figured out that actually it was at the same time that he was in prison in a really difficult situation.
And we worked out, me and my wife, at exact the same time. She was a young girl and she was praying, because she's been brought up in a Christian family. She was praying, and God said to her that your future husband is in trouble now. I want you to start to pray. And God spoke to her, and we later discussed this when we got married, and worked out that the time was exactly the same time as when I was in the Isle of Wight prison, and I was basically on my knees crying, saying, God, I'm messed up. If you're real, I need help. I'm confused.
You know, that's just one of the many things that God has shown us over the years, and in our relationship, that he's actually, you know, he's brought us together in his perfect timing. You know, and it blows my mind, you know, to think that we were two worlds apart, and yet God was using me even at that age, and even at that time in my life, to pray for him.